G'day team, Josh here. Hope you're having an amazing day. Today I want to talk to you about perspective. This is something that I've been thinking about a lot, and it's something that comes up with our boardroom clients all the time, is this concept of perspective. And this is not necessarily like a strategic or tactical thing that I want to share with you today. It's more us at a human level in terms of when we and I'll talk to you about this today through the lens of when we get stressed and get overwhelmed and things aren't working out properly and things aren't going our way, we tend to lose perspective of the bigger picture. And I think there is so much to be said for recognizing when we're stressed, when we're overwhelmed, when we're starting to go down that loop or that rabbit hole of negativity and beating ourselves up and becoming a grumpy person and getting angry at other people and making it everyone else's fault. To really, and I know this is hard, like, and as human beings, we get caught up in this, and sometimes we don't even recognize we're in this downward spiral until, it's half a day or a day or 2 days later, or someone from our close circle goes, "Hey, you're being a jerk. What's going on?" Um, Perspective is so important, and it encompasses every facet of our life. And I think we do a lot of strategy work with our clients in boardroom, but we also do a lot of like tactical stuff and a lot of uh, mindset work as well. And you know, as as human beings, and I've heard this before, our business will never grow past the point at which we're capable of. And what that means is, if we have a mindset or a viewpoint that business is really hard and that things are not going our way and that like I'm only ever capable of building a certain level of business and I don't know how to get to that next level, your business is never going to grow past that level. And so we want to shift our perspective of what's possible and see things from a bigger picture to help us get outside of our current blinkers that we put on, that limit us in the growth of our business, and get a new perspective or get into a new environment. And so sometimes we just kind of, we blindly crash through life, carrying with us our own limiting viewpoints, our own current perspectives, without actually stopping to check in and question, why am I operating like this? Why am I getting so caught up in, that particular staff member or team member doing that? Why am I getting so angry about a client saying this? And, this whole questioning process of why, it allows us to step outside ourselves and go, oh, wow, and get some perspective, which is in the overall scheme of things, in the overall scheme of life, in the overall scheme of like everything that I'm here to create, getting so caught up on that minor thing that sure really bugged me and really peed me off. But in the overall scheme of my business and my life, do I really want that to affect me? Do I really want to be taking that energy home to my family and being a grumpy person at home because of what happened at the office today? Often, if we can kind of step outside ourselves and get a different perspective or a bigger perspective or a new viewpoint at which to view that, we can often just drop that energy or that aggression or that frustration and step into that version of ourselves that we actually would like to be around and actually want to act out of more often than not. And so, I've worked with so many clients who are like, I'm not growing quick enough. And I'm really frustrated that I'm not where I thought I would be. So they've got the egos saying, oh, well, you need to be at 200K per month, or you need to be at 2 million per month. And the ego is going, come on, why haven't you got there yet? But if you actually stop and step back, and I do this with my clients, you've grown by 50% since last year. Like if you, and I literally had this conversation with a client, if you look at where we were together in January or February last year compared to where you are now, your business has doubled. Can we just stop and celebrate that for a second? You are doing so well. And I know that you're frustrated because you want to keep growing and you've got this like, well, I grew 50% this year. I want to do the same next year. Like there's ambition, and then there is that part of us that drives us to insanity because we're not where we thought we would be. So again, stepping back and going, oh wow, I'm so proud of what I've achieved. I'm so proud of how far I've come, and I'm proud of the team, and I'm proud of what we're creating and the results we're getting out for our clients. Maybe stuff isn't going as quickly as I want it to, ego, but we're doing really, really well. And so I talked to my clients that we had an in-person event last year on the Gold Coast, and we talked a lot about this concept of the gap versus the gain. And as human beings, we are hardwired and taught to be in the gap all the time, which is I'm here now, and this is where I want to be, and I'm not there yet. So I'm striving towards that, and that's my goal, and that's what I want to achieve. And I'm in the gap the whole time because if you're an ambitious person, that end game or where you're going towards never is never enough. It never changes. It never stops. Or sorry, it's always changing. It never stops. And so you're always in the gap, feeling like you're not enough, feeling like you're not good enough, feeling like you haven't got there yet. And when I get there, I can relax and be a nicer person, or I can have more fun in my life. That's a never ending cycle of misery if you're constantly in the gap. Whereas if we can shift our perspective to the gain, which is I'm here now, and yes, absolutely, I've got those goals in the future, but look how far I've come. So if I use that client example, I have grown 50% in the last year. I've put on staff, I've hired this, I've got my name out there, I'm doing this, I've clients giving me great repeat work. I have come so far. And if you focus on the gain, different perspective, you're focusing on the gain and you're focusing on how far you've come. With that comes gratitude and a feeling of success and a feeling like, oh, wow, I'm really proud of what I've achieved. Yes, I've got these goals and yes, this is what I'm working towards, but I am so proud of where I've come. Can you see the different energy? Can you see how that's such a different version of you? Grateful, but striving versus in the gap, needy, angry, aggressive, feeling like you're not good enough and feeling like you'll never get there. Two very different ways of living your life. Two very different ways. So I just wanted to shoot this for you today to just kind of remind you to check in with your own perspective. If you're getting caught up in the minutiae and and in the weeds and in the day to day of your business, sometimes you need to stop and you're getting frustrated. You need to zoom out and just go. I need a different perspective here because I'm getting too angry and too frustrated and too annoyed that things aren't working. And the longer you stay angry, frustrated, and annoyed, the more you become that person, that grumpy individual that no one wants to be around. So perspective is everything. And if you can stop and zoom out, sometimes you'll see that your problems are so minuscule compared to what other people in the world are going around you. And you start to feel sheepish about that too. Like the amount of times that I'm not perfect, I've had this where I'm feeling caught up in, things aren't going as well as I wanted them to, or the business isn't growing as fast enough. And then you see someone, you meet someone who's, they're way worse off than you. They've got a disability or they've got some kind of disease or something like that, and it's just like it's a different perspective. And all of a sudden it flips like that, and you're like, I'm being such a jerk. My life is amazing, and I'm just getting caught up in the small little things. So, team, I wanted to record this for you today. Like, perspective is everything. We get hugely stressed out about things not going to plan or how things want. If we can just stop sometimes and get a different perspective, it allows us to be in a better headspace to then better solve those problems that are ahead of us. But if we are trying to solve our problems in front of us from a stressed, negative, in the gap mindset or perspective, we're just going to continue to self-perpetuate that. But if we can stop, step back, get a different perspective, view things differently, you're going to be in problem-solving mode so much better, and you're going to just bring a better version of you to solving those problems and moving your business forward. So, team, perspective is everything. And if you're caught down in the weeds, stop, breathe, come out, step back up, have a look at things from a different perspective, and then go again. Tomorrow's another day. All right, team, that is it for me today. I hope you got a lot from that. I hope you just take away some little things in terms of just when you get caught in the weeds, getting a different perspective. So, Tim, if you want to keep building your business on your own, we have a ton of free resources for you to keep doing that. Website, podcast, free webinars and workshops, YouTube channel, you kind of name it. But if you want to get some help, if you actually want to be part of an incredible community of amazing people, all helping each other learn and grow and build amazing consultancies, I'd love to invite you to become part of our Boardroom coaching program. So it's a coaching program purely for business owners of engineering consultancies to help you grow to that next level. So if that's you, business owner of an engineering consultancy, you think that you would like some help to grow your business faster, just send me a message, give me a call. Let's have a chat about how we could work together in Boardroom to help you build your business faster. Have an awesome day.